Cool.
All right. Well, normally we don't recover stuff that we've already covered and we just move on, even if we say we're going to cover it next week. But some important updates about the Somerset Gimp man.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Previously known as Dave.
Yes.
So yeah, he's apparently being caught.
Oh no.
They raced to the scene after reports of a man dressed in a latex outfit in Somerset. According to authorities, the man who was cuffed at the scene had previously been arrested over a similar spate of incidents in Cleve near Bristol, October last year.
Well.
So I believe that last year there was the Somerset Gimp that was running wild, and it appears that he was caught somewhere else, but then he's back again.
They always come back, so that's why.
He leapt in front of a woman's vehicle, scaring her. As soon as I got over the first railway bridge, I noticed something on the ground, which I thought was a badger. As I got closer to see, it wasn't, but it was in fact a man with a mask on who was crawling and writhing on the ground. His mask had 2 white crosses on his eyes, and he was all in black.
Okay.
Police officers arrived within a matter of minutes and quickly found a man in his 30s who they believed to be responsible for the incident.
I mean, because he was still wearing the Gimp outfit, is that why they believe he is responsible?
Yeah, well, apparently, he's been going around.
Is it illegal to go around as a Gimp? That's the question here.
Yeah. I say we stop kink shaming and allow people to.
Yeah, I think he should be allowed to be a Gimp if he wants to. It's just, I mean, find the law that says you cannot be a Gimp in public.
It's UK law 1278.3 anti-Gimp laws.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize. There you go.
Well, he was arrested and bailed on suspicion of causing a public nuisance.
I mean, come on. That's I mean, he's just living out his dreams. So,
well, so when he was previously arrested, the man was described as unpredictable, flopping to the floor, writhing and grunting.
That's one way of gimping around. Yeah. Wow. What a Saturday afternoon he had. Or Thursday afternoon, whichever. So yeah. Very fun.
But it appears that he's being arrested multiple times and nothing happens.
To just keep letting him out, be like, don't do it again. I totally won't.
But I don't know. What's he doing wrong? So Joshua Hunt, 31, was arrested. But there doesn't seem to be other than that.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, in a previous incident last year, the court was told the witness was with his friend and the defendant was seen grabbing his penis over the top of the clothing, and he was wearing what is generally known as a gimp suit, and the defendant had over his head a mask which was shiny in nature. Mr. Hunt is gyrating against the floor, and some of what happened is captured on mobile phones. So, I don't know. I feel like, why do we have to kink shame people that want to hump the floor at midnight in a gimp suit?
I feel like this was just a performance piece that he shouldn't be ashamed for or arrested for. He's just, he's not hurting anybody by humping the floor. So, what's the problem?
Well, the incident last year constitutes one of the affray charges, while the possession of a bladed article charge relates to the lock knife allegedly found in his vehicle after he was arrested.
Oh, well, if it's in his vehicle, he's not exactly carrying it around threatening people. So,
yeah.
Hey.
It's hard because, like, what's he doing so wrong? It's kind of like there is something wrong with it, but at the same time, it's like
it's not everybody's midnight activity, but it's it's for some special people enjoy it, and he doesn't he's not hurting anybody. It doesn't upset anybody, I don't think, or it shouldn't. So
it's kind of like a Bigfoot sighting when you Google Somerset Gimp. There's like all these like things about sightings and when he was last seen and.
Oh yeah. It's like somebody tracking him be like, I think the Somerset Gimp is real. I'm gonna set out to prove it.
We should so do that.
It's funny. For years, the rumors have spread around the country.
The best thing is, like Bigfoot, we could actually fake it and just.
Oh yeah.
We should have the only tour that guarantees a sighting of the Somerset Gimp. And then every week on a Saturday, we charge £100 to take people around Somerset. And then we may or may not have an actor in a gimp suit.
I'm pretty sure the actual guy would be up for joining. He'd be like, yeah, no problem.
Yeah. We wouldn't even have to pay him.
Yeah. Just be like, could you just be there doing your thing at 12 o'clock? Yeah, sure. Nice.
We'll have an audience for you.
Yeah.
It's a win-win. Like, I feel like the people of Somerset should embrace it and use this as an opportunity to bring in some tourists.
Yeah, make a touristy thing out of it. Keychains, fridge magnets,
T-shirts. I survived the Somerset Gimp. My grandma saw the Somerset Gimp and all I got was this lousy T-shirt.
Exactly. So fun. Let's bring your whole family to this vacation spot in Somerset. It's the 21st century. We got to get with these things. So.
Yeah, I mean, what else is going on in Somerset?
Who knows? Nothing, probably.
Well, if they're all noticing a gimp, it can't be that much.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of sightings, so sadly what if while he's in jail, there's another sighting?
Oh, yeah, that would be very Scooby-Doo.
Worse than Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Well, there was a shout out to you in the Eurovision.
I don't think there was, but
no, there was. There was one of the countries, Austria. They featured something that was a shout out to you. Do you want to guess what it is?
No. I don't know. Shout out to beards. I don't know.
No. 0.003 number used in Austria's Eurovision song has a very important meaning. Now, I didn't read the meaning, but I just assumed it was the size of a micro penis.
Well, there you go, huh? Oh, well.
I don't know. It seems deeply buried in what the actual meaning.
Can't say deeply buried if you're going to talk about micro penis.
Okay, so it was actually Austria's song is about the lack of royalties musicians receive from the likes of Spotify, with 0.003 referencing how much of some artists earn per stream.
I see. Well, it doesn't seem to be that big a problem because no one listens to Austrian music anyway. So who cares?
Don't upset Austrian artists. We've made that mistake as a society before.
We'll be fine this time. It's just some one dude in Austria watches the podcast like, right, I'm going to get everybody together. Fucking march to Berlin. Let's go.
Well, staying on Eurovision, the BBC confused a random fan on the street for Finland's Eurovision act.
Nice. Nice.
Which kind of shows you, one, how little people know of the people that are actually entering, and two, how absurd the people dress.
Yeah, I feel like, but I also feel like if you're working, creating stuff for the BBC, you should be like, is that the person, or should we double check? Like, I don't think you should just be like, hey, there's the Finnish guy.
There's another guy who's wearing a green top, so maybe he's the guy.
I mean, that's probably what happened. Yeah. So
it's basically, he's wearing a similar dodgy top, but it's distinctively not the same guy or top. So
well, there you go. There you go. Yeah, it seems like they've been a bit racist there. Just picked out a person and been like, well, green's green. It's the same. So there's an underlying current of racism, I think, is what's happened.
It's like confusing the Somerset Gimp with the Birmingham Gimp. They're very distinctly different.
That's unforgivable. That kind of stuff. Like, we can't have that in a peaceful society. There you go. So, but still, if that's the big story to come out of Eurovision, it's not too bad. There's usually more controversy. So, it's all good.
Well, yeah, I think that supposedly they cheated or something. There was some story.
Yeah.
That I didn't read just before. But there was another big sporting event on. Now, there's been a major doping allegation in what sport?
In what sport? Let me see. I would say 10-pin bowling.
Esports.
Esports.
Yep.
How are you doping in esports? Using like cheat codes?
The Singapore Esports Association has disputed the PBESI. I don't even know what that is, but Indonesia's esports body accuses Singapore's Valorant team of digital doping. So the Southeast Asian Games, which I'm sure you've been watching, are going on right now. And Singapore may have secured its first esports gold medal at the games hosted by Cambodia. It was not without some controversy.
Okay.
Indonesia, who are playing Singapore during the gold medal match, called for a technical pause after being down 4-10 in the second set, claiming that the Singapore squad was abusing a bug to gain an unfair advantage. The pause was not resumed, and Indonesia eventually forfeited a rematch scheduled for the morning as a result.
That's interesting. So they were getting beaten because of something that's in the game. They were like, fuck this. So basically they rage quit their final match.
The gold medal.
Yeah. So it's like somebody's a bunch of pussies, but all right.
The Esports Federation of Indonesia consider this act of cheating equivalent to doping and should be defined as digital doping.
I mean, to me, it sounds like they found a way to win the points or whatever it is, and they just just use that thing. It's built in. Indonesia could use it too. So I don't know.
They exploited something to do with the camera positions in the game. So
I mean, seems like they were just smarter than the Indonesian guys. That's all I'm saying. Seems like
It's like saying that you got too many views on your porno because you used a better angle than mine. So therefore you were using steroids.
it was just a trick of the camera angles. That's all. That's all I like to tell everyone. So.
That's how it got to 0.003 instead of 0.001.
You know, so you got to use all these things to your advantage if you figure them out. So, yeah, good though. Good.
Now 10 bales of used underwear were seized in Zambia.
Yes.
So
it's my business.
The Zambia Compulsory Standards Agency has withdrawn 10 bales of used underwear and nightgowns from a market worth 25,000 K. I don't know what that is, whatever their currency is. So basically, people imported used underwear and were selling them. Not in like a sexy way, in a to use way.
I mean, yeah, maybe they misunderstood the used panty industry. But, you know.
Well, it wasn't really panties. It's like the photos are all of men's underwear.
Yeah, that doesn't sell as well. It's a very, very niche market.
Which I've cornered, so get your own.
Yeah, get out of the business, all right? Or else we'll send the somerset Gimp around to your see ya. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely not the right way to go in the used underwear market. There's money to be made, but not with that kind.
Now, have you ever devoured a Chinese buffet?
No, because I feel like this especially is going to come back to something else. No, I have not. No.
Well, we have drank a unlimited drinks place into getting more supplies.
Yeah, that was fun. Good day.
But,
it was my birthday. So.
Yeah. 7 diners demolished 300 crabs, 40 boxes of durian, and 80 bowls of dessert at a single buffet sitting.
Wow.
That's like nearly 50 crabs each.
Jesus Christ.
11 desserts each.
Wow. That's getting your money out of the buffet for sure. But
well, it depends how much they charge, because if they charge like $700 a person,
then it's worth. Then you got to do that. It's just you have to.
A group of Chinese diners stunned Chinese social media last week with their 4-hour non-stop seafood extravaganza. They were all in their 20s and they went viral Friday after they filmed the remnants of their meals. They also had plates of salmon, sushi, crayfish, and prawns. Oh, well, no, yeah, they didn't spend $500. They spent $23 each.
Well, there you go. The best value meal anyone has had in like 100 years.
Yeah. Wow.
That's a lot though. I mean, I feel like you would, if you ate all that, you would struggle to leave the restaurant. Like, yeah. It's a lot of seafood as well. So, you gotta, I don't know.
6 men and 1 woman ate from 5 p.m. until the all-you-can-eat buffet closed at 9:30 p.m.
Wow.
In the end, there's a quote, "In the end, we ate until the staff had to end their shift."
Nice. Jesus. I don't know if that's a goal I have. But like the drinking one was fun because, we were getting more drunk with every time. But like, I don't know if I could do the eating one. That would be tiring parts of anything else. But Yeah, it's a lot of
I
food.
feel like that's
It's yeah. I don't know. I'd be like, I'd be full after like a lot less food than that. One of them's not going to eat their fair share, so someone's going to have to take over and eat that. But hey, there you go, people. Yeah, I don't know. Genuinely speechless about that.
In 2021, China adopted a food waste law that banned customers from leaving behind excessive amounts of uneaten foods after their meals.
Oh, interesting.
So caterers can be fined around 150 to 1,500 if they're caught encouraging diners to order too much.
Good.
So that means that these people had to eat all of it. They couldn't not eat it.
I mean, it's an all-you-can-eat buffet, so yeah, there you go. They certainly took advantage of that.
Yeah. Well, there's a new hotel that has a new policy that you might be taking advantage of.
Okay.
Once you hear about it.
We'll see.
A hotel guest was woken up in the middle of the night by the building's evening manager sucking on his toes.
Wait a minute. I don't know why I thought I heard you say the building manager sucking on his toes.
Yep.
That
a night manager at the 4th Avenue South Hilton Hotel in Nashville entered the unnamed man's room at roughly 5 a.m. They said that he had a key card which granted access to the male hotel guest room, which he reportedly entered on the morning of March 30. According to the New York Post, the guest was woken up. I clicked on that and proceeded to confront him immediately.
Yeah.
But that's a long time. Like, it's not like you. It's very quick to get to the toes to be sucking them. Because, like, if someone walked into my room, I feel like I would wake up before they were able to get my toes into their mouth.
I mean, would you though?
I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't. I would stop them, but I would have woken up before they started sucking.
Was it a random room? Did he just really want to suck this one guy's toes? Was it did they have a conversation about toe sucking earlier?
Well, it's the sleeper recognized Neil as one of the hotel employees, as he'd actually been in the guest room the day before to fix his television.
Oh, interesting.
And he admitted he had entered the room to police, but said it was because he smelled smoke and wanted to make sure that the guest was okay.
He just didn't want to make sure it wasn't coming from his toes.
I just wanted to make sure his toes were okay in case there was a virus.
Oh man, yeah. I feel like also he would have lost a couple of teeth if you just wake up and someone's sucking on your toes. You're gonna kick out. I don't know. Yeah,
it's a big leap though, like to getting into the room, even if it's a somerset Gimp, like humping the floor, right? There's a big difference between that versus getting in the room and getting your toes into his mouth.
Getting in the room, quietly, walking nice and quietly over to the bed, pulling back the covers, getting his feet into your face. That's not an easy thing, I don't think. Like if you're gonna burgle like the room and steal stuff, that's probably a lot easier. But yeah, it's be like, I'm gonna go in and suck this dude's toes. That's gonna be hard because hotel, like I don't know, my feet don't usually hang off the end of a hotel bed, so like they're just hanging there waiting to be sucked on.
Yeah, and normally you're a lot quieter when you sneak into suck a toe.
Yeah. It takes a lot of practice. You got to plan it out.
I don't know. I almost feel like there's something else to it that if the guy had already been in the room, and the fact that he got the toes in his mouth, like, yeah, surely, again, like, you don't just open the door and then have toes in your mouth. There's a big leap to.
Yeah, it takes work. You gotta really get, like, you know, put the effort into getting the toes into your mouth. It's very.
We
it's
either
not
got to
easy.
somehow sneak in, and then the person has to be completely out of it.
Mm.
Like, there's a big gap here.
Definitely.
And then, there doesn't seem to be much of an update. So it's sadly they don't seem to have interviewed the guy to find out what.
So anyway, we should go to Nashville for our next vacation.
Yeah.
Leaving
the door wide
I believe you've got a toe sucking service at 5 a.m.
It would be fun to check in there and then ask what time's the toe sucking.
I know I asked for a wake up call, but this is going the extra mile.
And I'm a bit of a heavy sleeper, so. But then, like, what is the guy thinking too? Like, it's just a big leap to just go to that. It does feel like if the guy had already been in the room, maybe the guy came to the room, fixed the TV, and then this time he came in the middle of the night, and the guy's wife was there, and so he had to.
Maybe.
I did not agree to have my toes sucked at this time.
Of course, I didn't ask him to do that, honey. What are you? No, you were dreaming when you heard that. Yeah.
I mean, I just feel like
this is why you double check that your hotel room door is locked and that it can't be opened from the outside, no matter what's going on.
This is why you leave your hotel room door open and your toes off the side of the bed.
I mean, whatever floats your boat, dude. You know. No, it's not for everybody. Let's just say that.
But this, like, what was this guy thinking? Like this is like a massive Hail Mary that the person be into it.
Oh yeah,
it's not like 100%. You can take a
100%.
chance on. I don't know if this guy wants his toes sucked, but I'm just gonna break in and do it.
99.9% chance this dude doesn't want to wake up to have his toes sucked by some stranger or dude he met yesterday. But there's that 0.01% chance that we're going to bond over this. It's going to be good.
This is like, 99% chance I'm going to jail. 1% chance this is the greatest night of my life to suck those delicious toes.
We are going to be besties. Oh, fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and just everything about it. Like, imagine being that guy. Like, you'd never be able to sleep in a hotel again.
Every time he checks into a hotel, it's like, don't let anyone come to my room at 5 o'clock in the morning. I want somebody. Or maybe he's now secretly discovered he's into it. And he's like.
But then he wouldn't have said anything.
Yeah, I guess. Unless, as you say, his wife was like, why is some dude sucking on your toes in the hotel? Like, oh, yeah. Good point.
Yeah, they definitely did not organize that.
Yeah.
I told you 5 p.m., not 5 a.m.
Oh, man.
Imagine they had set it up and the guy comes in and sneaks in like that. He's like, oh, just as I planned, and the feet are there and everything. And then all of a sudden it's like the cops are called and it's like, but we organized this.
He said he liked it. Oh, man. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's just such a risk to take. Like, This guy is the
I'm
ultimate
never going to
risk taker.
sleep well in a hotel anymore. I'm gonna, where's the toe sucking guy coming from? Yeah.
Well, I found another article
Oh,
where it does say that the guy has a long rap sheet that included manslaughter for shooting his roommate dead in the 90s. So maybe they need to
Okay.
do better background checks.
better background checks for sure. Jesus, yeah. You don't want a guy who's killed like his roommate in the middle of the night to be sneaking into your hotel room to suck on your toes. All right, that brings a whole new angle to the story, really.
So the guy who had his toes sucked said, I was just so shocked. It was, who are you? Why are you in my room? It was almost like a dream, a sort of nightmare. It just didn't make sense. Why is this person touching me? He was talking to me, but not giving me any substantive answers. I'm having problems sleeping, going through some PTSD and talking to a therapist, he explained.
Mm.
So when he reported the act to the Hilton security, he claims they did not appear to take his complaint seriously.
As you'd expect.
Yeah. Imagine calling the hotel and saying, I just got my toes sucked by your manager.
I was just sleeping, and then this guy started sucking my toes. Like, you book into one of the toe sucking rooms? Yeah, common mistakes.
That would be an awkward thing if you did work in the security, because you have to take it seriously in case it is legit. But at the same time, you have to be like, there's no way that this is real.
Exactly. Yeah, be strange. But there you go. Just, it's just for hotels, tell your staff that toe sucking is not acceptable unless requested.
Well, the guy's lawyer is saying multiple charges of forgery, drinking and driving, a manslaughter conviction as well, which he served prison time for. And is saying that Hilton shouldn't have given this guy unmitigated access to guest rooms.
I would agree. Yeah, I think this dude's going to get a huge payout. Like, he's going to get millions of dollars from Hilton, I'd imagine.
I mean, yeah.
So
free hotel rooms for life.
So in some ways, it was the best thing that ever happened to him. So he's going to be like, how did you get rich? Well, dude sucked on my toes. No hotel. Oh, okay.
I mean, if you went up to people on the street and said, I'll give you $5 million to let some random dude suck on your toes for 10 seconds. How many people are going to say no?
True. For 10 seconds? No problem. Do it. Come back and do it twice. Get extra money.
Probably free hotel rooms for the rest of your life.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Free upgrades. Contents of the minibar, all yours.
That would actually be fun, like negotiating like how stupid of a offers you can get from the Hilton.
Yeah. I want $7 million and free hotel stays forever and guaranteed upgrades. And,
I want diamond status with your free turn down service and a chocolate on arrival at every hotel.
Can range free toe sucking. I mean, no, not that one. Sorry. Yeah, good times.
Well, hypothetically, and this is a wild, made-up conspiracy theory, but what if you did meet a deranged hotel security manager?
Uh-huh.
Now, no one should do this, and I'm certainly not saying this happened, but let's just say you meet a wild security manager who comes into your room,
mm-hmm.
and then you say, come back tomorrow at 5 a.m., suck on my toes. And then you're set for life.
Huh?
I mean,
seems like a reasonable thing to do.
There's a lot of people out there working shitty jobs that would.
All you got to do is check into one hotel and have one toe sucked.
Yeah.
That's all. So
Think about this. There are people out there who work in brothels who have to have sex with people they don't like on a regular basis.
Yeah.
They could just get their toes sucked for 10 seconds and destroy a person's life, but still.
Still.
What if this guy is the real victim? Even though he happened to murder his roommate, or not murder, manslaughter, because he says he did it in self-defense, but went to jail for it. For shooting his roommate dead in the 90s. Yeah, I mean...
Dude. Yeah. So anyway, I'm going to need a full criminal record rundown of all the employees at this hotel when I stay.
Well, no, you just need to randomly start talking to the people in the hotel and find someone who seems dodgy and then be like...
Shouldn't be too difficult. Yeah, good stuff.
Well, there's the guy who just admitted that he deliberately crashed his plane.
Oh, yeah.
YouTube views. So, like...
Yeah, he's going to enjoy that one for 20 years.
Yeah, he got 20 years in jail when instead... Hypothetically, he could have got his toes sucked for 10 seconds and he would have earned more than he would have ever got from YouTube.
Exactly. I feel like that's definitely the way to go, is to, get your toes sucked in a hotel unexpectedly, and yeah, make a case against the hotel then.
What if you found out, right, that like... Let's say that this happened to you. And then like 3 years later, I was like, oh, by the way, I told that guy to go in there.
Well, knowing you, I would not be surprised. I would be like, fucking dickhead. But then, I mean, we'd have all
this
the
is
money,
like the greatest present you could ever have.
I have PTSD over this, all right? No money in the world's taking that away from me. Just can't get anyone to suck my toes the same way. Yeah, I feel like he'd, I don't know, man. It'd be a fun thing. I don't know. I'm not sharing the money. If that's where you're going, get your own toes sucked.
Well, that's not fair. If I get your toes sucked, I deserve 10%.
Go to the same hotel, get the same employee to do the same thing, and to you, and I just feel like basically set up a whole career path for people who want to get rich off suing hotels.
Well, there's the opposite side of this. Let's say that you want to suck on a random person's toes.
Okay.
The best opportunity you have right now is to actually get a job there and do that at this hotel, because no one's going to believe that it happened again.
True.
They're going to be like, no, this person set you up, especially if you say that. So therefore, you can't have one free swing at sucking on random toes.
Also, I wonder, is it now part of the interview questions? So, ever sucked on anyone's toes? I don't know. Is this a part of the interview? You wanting to get down?
Or they do it a little bit more subtle. The interviewer puts their foot on the table and is like, so, sucked one of these before?
Think you know what to do? Yeah, for sure.
Which puts you in a really awkward position, because do you have to suck the toe or should you not suck the toe?
Yeah, that's it.
It's the ultimate conundrum. There are no wrong answers.
Fantastic. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot.
Now, have you ever forgot something at work?
Oh, yeah, all the time. Like how to do my job. Yeah, for sure.
Well, a West Ham United player forgot his £200,000 Lamborghini at the club's training ground.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that can happen. You know, sometimes you're busy. You're trying to do things. You're like, totally forgot about that $200,000 car.
Pound, not dollars.
Oh, pound, even worse. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah, happens all the time. Happens to me all the time. I have no idea where my £200,000 car is.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you suck a couple toes and you forget where you park your car.
you know, things, your mind gets all muddled up. Yeah. There you go. So, yeah, I mean.
So he just bought it too.
He just bought it. It was 200 grand and then he forgot about it.
Yeah.
So I was a footballer.
Yeah.
He
just abandoned his car at West Ham when he left. So everyone had to walk past it and see it.
So it's just sitting there for like months and months. People were calling him like, "Come and get your car, you fucking dick." He's like, no. I mean, he must have had friends at the club who would have said, "Hey, you left your car. You want to come back and get it?" Yeah, that's weird. It's weird to leave a 200 grand car
anywhere.
You know. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not even the first person. There's someone else did it when they left Real Zaragoza back in 2010.
Nice. Yeah, there we go. Just leaving abandoned supercars all over the place, these footballers.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just
could donate them to like fans. Be like, here, have the car. It's yours. Congratulations. So, most West Ham fans probably don't live in a house that's worth as much as that car.
Yeah,
so
it's
that's the craziness to it. Hey.
Well, on another absurd thing like that, this week an Australian guy made the news because he shut down the road in the city in Melbourne to use a crane to lift his $3 million McLaren into his 57-story apartment.
Wait, what?
He purchased a $39 million luxury penthouse, which is not where he's living in. That's just his weekend place to visit.
Of course, you wouldn't stay. You wouldn't purposely live in a $39 million place. No way.
No.
Like, yeah,
Scum
weekend
of the
pad,
earth,
it's fine, but not regular place. Yeah.
So he shut down the road, hired a crane to lift a $3 million McLaren to put inside his apartment.
I don't think this guy knows how cars work.
Well, he just wants to have it parked in his lounge room. What would be epic is if he was doing like burnouts in his lounge room, 57th floor.
I feel like if you're gonna be owning a car like that, you probably just like leave it on the road. It's where it's supposed to be. Drive it. Don't use it as a decoration in your apartment.
There's only one of 75 in the world of the car.
Yeah. It seems like a bit of a pain to get it into a 57th floor apartment. Having to shut down the whole street, hire a crane. I know he clearly he's not worried about the money side of it, but that's a bit much. What if he then decides he does want to take it out for a drive? It's like, I just want to go a couple of 100 miles in this new car. And then he's like, gotta call a crane company, shut down the street. It's gonna be, then I gotta do the same.
You can't, because it's not actually able to be registered to drive on the road in Australia.
Damn it, Australia. You're not even a real place. And you have these rules. All right. So we own a car that he can't drive. So we put it in his living room.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
And then people were naturally upset with the waste of money, and of course he couldn't understand why people would be upset.
Yeah, like, does everyone not do this? Like, just shut down the street to put their car in their apartment. Come on, people, be reasonable. So, yeah.
So he'll be using it as a weekender, given he doesn't like city living, despite purchasing a $39 million apartment.
I agree. Yeah. So he's probably got like a $5 million place in the country, which is like 10 times the size of his apartment, but he just had to have this like $39 million apartment in the city that he doesn't like living in. Does that make sense?
He has a net worth of $350 million.
Should work harder, but hey.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Although, I mean, it is a lot of money comparatively to have in an apartment you don't use.
Yeah, so that's like 10% of your over 10% of your net worth is like probably, if you're not fond of it, just sell it and buy something you are fond of for 40 million. What
would be hilarious is if he just used it as like a car park. And so he has like 10 sports cars just sitting up there. And then when he wants to drive it, he's like, okay, we're going to shut the street down and we're going to hire a crane and bring the one car down for the day.
Then I'm going to drive it around the block and the crane's going to put it back. It's going to be fun. Yeah.
And that's why he doesn't like city living.
Yeah, I'm sure. Every time I want to take my car out, I got to call a crane. I got to shut down the street.
Parking is so expensive these days. You got to hire a crane, shut down a street.
Yeah, it takes so long for them to get here, and everything. Yeah, but I don't understand if you don't like city living, why you would live in the city, even on a weekend basis. I suppose occasionally you have to go to the city, but
I mean, you probably don't if you can afford that.
I mean, he could just helicopter into the city when he needs to and helicopter back to his like country pad.
It would literally be cheaper than just the cost of parking his car.
Exactly. Yeah. So you should look into. We should be rich people consultants. Like, I'm thinking of buying this apartment. Do you like living in the city? No, helicopter. Buy that instead. You're welcome.
I don't even think he lives in the country. I think he just lives in the suburbs. It's just not the city.
Oh, okay. Might be a little bit more awkward with the helicopters then. Who knows? But either way, that's why when you're building a house, you've got to put a helicopter pad in the driveway. So you don't have to drive into the city.
Yeah. I mean, every new house should have a helicopter pad.
Every house, yeah, just right beside the swimming pool, the Olympic-sized swimming pool that you're building. Yeah, there we go.
Although, I mean, swimming pool isn't that big of a deal here because it's kind of a lot of people have it. So
yeah,
it's like an Australian thing, I guess, where
you have lot of weather where you can use swimming pools for more than 1 week a year. Wow, yeah, that's weird. That's crazy.
Although the bigger one is if the richer way is to have an indoor one.
Oh yeah,
you can use it at any time.
True.
Indoor, out, or both. There are some that have both indoor and outdoor because
I mean sometimes you just gotta splash the cash on an outdoor and an indoor swimming pool. So
yeah,
so people know you got the money for both. Yeah, well, absolutely.
Well, a girl in Singapore stayed in a Thailand hostel, and you must have been staying there at the same time because her underwear was stolen.
I paid for that fair and square.
But it was returned.
With
stains on it.
Yeah. Sorry about that. The thing to do here is don't stay in hostels. So, yeah, that's It's just how it goes.
Well, I mean, it's complaining about people being too rich, and then they're like, oh, don't stay in hostels.
Yeah, you gotta be in the middle somewhere where you don't stay in hostels, but you also
$3 love hotels is where we
There's only like, I don't know, 6 people ever who've stayed long term in love hotels overnight and everything. That's weird people. But yeah.
So yeah, this girl says I was staying backpacking in Thailand and staying in a hostel. I found out that a few of my bra, panties, and clothes were stolen. What's worse was that some of my used bra and panties had cum stains in them. I was utterly shocked as this had never happened to me before. I tried to tell the hostel staff, but they said they could not do anything about it as they have placed a disclaimer to remind the tenants to take care of their belongings. What a great hostel. The Hilton should have done that in Nashville and been like, hey, there's a disclaimer.
It's a good point.
Like, get sucked.
If you travel, you could end up with your panties being used and your bras being used for various activities, and also your toes could end up being sucked. It doesn't matter if you're staying in a Hilton or a hostel. So, yeah, traveling is fun.
They said they did offer to make police report, but that didn't help much as I was about to head home in a few days. Looking through the CCTV also didn't help as there were multiple people entering the room at different times, making it hard to tell who stole exactly. What's the worst was there was this other female tenants whose lingerie was stolen and stained with cum as well. I just want to know if this is common or has ever happened to other female travelers before. If so, how do you react? I don't think this is common.
First of all, if you're staying in a hostel, you got to protect your lingerie. Put it somewhere where it can't be accessed by perverts. And for those in the pervert community, why are you giving it back? What's wrong with you, dude? Yeah.
Also, you're leaving DNA on it. So
yeah.
Should actually be relatively easy to catch. I don't know.
I mean, I feel like also it's not that big a deal. I mean, it is a big deal.
It's not that big a deal. What are you
saying?
It's
a big deal, but you just go, okay, I can't use those anymore. Like, you're just going to be like, I'm done with those. I just get new ones. They're not that expensive. So, it is a big deal. Just not in a, you just don't wear them anymore.
Just the thing. Average.
Yeah, it just happens on a Tuesday. So when they ask, is it common? Does this happen on Tuesday? That's Tuesday's fun activity in the hostels. Finding underwear and coming in them. So
I feel like you should set a trap for it somehow.
I mean, yeah, why not? I wonder, was it the same guy? It must have been the same guy.
It would have been. There's no way well, I mean, I guess it could be, but like, surely there wouldn't be that many.
It's like a group of dudes being like, we'll stay in hostels, we'll get panties. It'll be great.
I mean, it does like spread the idea around it.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I wouldn't I wouldn't advocate for staying in hostels where you can't lock away your underwear when you're not using it. That's what I would do. Make sure your underwear is locked in a locker or something. And safe. Yeah.
Although I thought like hostels were meant to be separated by gender usually, so
I think there are some where it's like you get mixed bedrooms as well, though, or mixed dorms. Yeah, which would be both sexy and weird. So.
Yeah. I mean, I to me, hostels again, like you said, I wouldn't stay in one. Even just a little bit of expense extra to not have to share a room with someone like Marcus who stinks the place up.
Yes, indeed.
So you run the risk of having other people in there that are I think
like while while most people are fine and they're just looking after themselves and stuff, you're always going to have that element who are looking to take advantage of other people or take what they can take from others and come in their panties and stuff like that. So, you've got to be, I think you got to be extra vigilant if you are staying in a hostel. And I think that takes away a lot of your fun experiences. But, there's probably people there who love staying in hostels. I think it's great. They meet new friends and stuff and come in their panties. So it's a thing. It's a whole thing.
Yeah. I mean, there are also multiple stories online of people getting caught stealing panties in Thailand. So,
I mean, which is weird because you can pretty much buy them on a street corner. So, I mean, I don't know, but yeah, but like apparently wherever you stay, apparently now if you could stay in a Hilton and wake up with your toes in someone's mouth or whatever. So you never really know what's going on, I guess, when you're not at home.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it really makes you think about where you're going to stay next.
It actually does. Yeah. Well, fun times.
Yeah. How much would you pay for contacts that were worn at a Taylor Swift concert?
The entire amount I would pay is $0. So,
well, someone's selling used contacts that had seen the latest Taylor Swift tour for $10,000.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. And good luck to them.
It's discount, really.
I mean, I could sell contacts that have seen the Taylor Swift concert. I haven't seen it, but I could tell you the contacts have. It'd be no way to find out. So, yeah, let's start up a business selling stuff on YouTube, just copying these randomly ridiculous. Like we should list contacts right now that have seen the Taylor Swift tour, $5,000. Undercut the bitches. We're like, fuck them, $5,000. And if we sell them, it's the idea that it's been sold or that it's been seen. I don't know why would anyone think that's something you can sell? Like, wasn't there was also a thing last year of someone selling a bottle with air from a Billie Eilish concert. It's like, why?
Why not? It's
dude, I know you bought that, but still, it was crazy.
It's a cherished memory.
But yeah, I don't know. Soiled underwear from a Metallica concert, is that going to sell? Well,
freshly soiled.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. People are weird, but I can't. Hopefully they don't sell because that'd be crazy. Or don't. Maybe though, that's how you afford $39 million apartments in cities that you don't want to live in. Yeah, you sell crazy shit like that.
I mean, it's what's holding you back.
Yeah, it's a good point. Should start wearing contacts again and sell them every day. These contacts saw the Avengers movie. You want
beard hair from a mosh pit.
I think I can make that happen. Yeah.
Well, finally, we have two related stories.
All right.
So what is the worst thing that a neighbor can do?
Your wife. Or
I would argue be not as bad as some of this.
Okay. Well, then it raises a lot of questions. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what's worse than that. So you'll have to help me out here.
A resident in Arkansas reached out to KATV and claimed her neighbors have been defecating in buckets and said that poop washes into her yard when it rains. There's a nice quote here that says they've been taking their feces in buckets and dumping it at the back of their property, and then across the street at another person's property. They've been dumping it on their property too. They've been doing this now for about 3 years.
Why? If they have a house, there's likely a toilet in there.
She said at one point her neighbors had hollowed out porta potty, and they were just letting it wash down into the ditches.
Why? I don't get it. Like,
she noted the smell is almost unbearable at times.
Yeah.
When the wind blows, it is awful. You cannot even sit outside. You cannot even sit in the back room back there with the door open because it just consumes the house.
I have a new respect and love for my neighbors that I didn't have this morning when I woke up.
You should go there and say thank you for not shitting in a bucket.
Thanks for not shitting in buckets and like spreading it out in the gardens. Thank you. I appreciate that.
That would be a good prank. Like just going to random houses and thanking them. I have been living down the road from you for 3 years, and I just wanted to say, I saw on the news today that there are neighbors who shit in buckets and throw it, and I just wanted to go around the neighborhood and thank you for being so nice as to not do that.
I really appreciate you using toilets. It's great. Thank you.
You look like a man who would shit a lot, so it's really helpful that you do use a toilet.
You look like a man whose shit really stinks. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart.
It means so much to me.
Neighbor of the Year award for you, sir. Thank you.
She said she's worried about her health. I've gotten sick. I had to go to the hospital for organ failure. They did not know what caused it, and that is after they had started doing that. My dad has been to the hospital a couple of times. He was really sick there for a minute. Nobody is thinking it was because of human waste, so that is not something they are looking at.
I mean, it's unpleasant. I don't know if it, unless I don't know if it's the smell of shit is making you have organ failure. But that would be a fun one.
I have a bad liver from alcohol abuse because of their shit.
Imagine the doctor being like, do you smoke? No. Do you drink? Not much. No. Do you take drugs? No, don't. Could it be that my neighbor like spreads shit in his garden all the time?
Do they drink? Well, yeah. Well, there we go.
Yeah. I feel like that's a conversation with your doctor you don't want to have. There you go. All right. So that's terrible. Yeah, that is worse than pretty much anything they could do, I think.
Connection to a public sewer system is required of all homes and businesses when the point of sewer exits the building is located within 300 feet of access to the public sewer. So there's actually technicalities where they don't need it, apparently.
Well, I still think you can create ways. You can just fucking put a toilet in your house. That's all I'm saying. And fucking use it. It's not the greatest system in the world because it has to go somewhere, but yeah. Oh man, that's just terrible. So.
Well, it would be sad if that was the only story, but a woman in Sidoarjo, I don't even know how you're supposed to pronounce that, but somewhere in Jakarta, East Java,
okay,
has been doing something for 6 years and was caught on camera. The victim said that his neighbor had been pouring urine on her house almost every day since 2017. She would also throw garbage and dirty water at her house.
So just to be clear, the neighbor is throwing the stuff at this other person's house.
Yeah.
All right.
So at least the people that were like defecating in buckets were like throwing it out on their own one. They weren't actively throwing it onto that neighbor's house.
Yeah.
It just rolled there.
Just rolled there, yeah.
And the smell and, when it rains, I'm sure it would get muddy and...
Yeah, it'd be nice.
Whereas this
woman's like throwing piss all over this other person's house and garbage and dirty water or whatever. What did you do to this lady? That's the question.
There's a quote that says, "I don't know why that person would always do something like that to my family." They filed a police report, and the police summoned the woman in for questioning, after which they established a motive. Her motive was that she wanted the family to be uncomfortable in that house. When that happens, in brackets, the culprit was hoping that the house would be sold cheaply. So this is a great way to buy your neighbor's house cheap through urine.
I think, I don't know if that is a great tactic, but hey, if it works for you, it works for you. 6 years later, you think you might give up. But hey.
So the house was previously owned by the neighbor's sibling.
Okay.
And she's been keen to own the property ever since.
Okay. All right.
And she was caught back in 2017, but then village officials mediated the two parties, after which she apologized and promised not to bother them again.
If you really, really want to buy a house, you could just knock on the door and be like, "I'd really like to buy your house. Would you be interested in selling it to me? And if you do ever decide to sell it to me, let me know first. I'll make you an offer." Instead of this campaign,
you don't get it cheap.
Housing markets rise and fall. Just be
It would be fun to go to your next door neighbor and say, "Hey, if you don't give me a house cheaper, I happen
to know that your house is covered in pee and garbage and dirty water. So I think I need to buy it cheap." He's like, "How do you know that? Who do you think's been doing it, fucker?" Also, then you want to buy a house that's covered in pee and all this other shit. So,
well, yeah, but it's kind of like a dog marking their territory. It's like, this house is mine.
I guess. So every time you have a pee, I'll be back in a second, just throwing this on next door. Wow. Oh.
Even, just the idea of collecting it and then throwing it, like the whole process is.
Yeah, I feel like there's an awful lot to unpack here, but at the same time, there's other better ways. I think just be a dick of a neighbor in another way. Don't be peeing on the house or throwing pee on the house.
Death metal all night.
Yeah. Because then you can enjoy yourself and they can not enjoy yourself. That's how it works. Learn the guitar and buy some large amplifiers and know your neighbors that way. It works. It's really good. They'll want to move out in no time.
There's nothing stopping you from collecting the shit and leaving it in a bucket at the back of your house. It's just when you throw it into the thing that it becomes a problem.
It's a problem.
Technically, having barrels of your own feces behind your house is the shortcut around both problems.
Maybe. Yeah. That's one way of doing it.
Or you contact a certain Hilton manager and invite them over.
Yeah, of course. That's a fun time for everybody. So I don't know how much houses cost in Jakarta, by the way, but I presume there's better ways to afford the house.
No,
I don't know.
Don't think so.
Next time I want to buy a house next door, I know what to do.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, we've established how to become a millionaire. We've established how to buy a house cheap.
Yeah.
What's the learning today?
as always, lots of good advice on the show. Lots of
Eagle
life-changing
advice.
moments. Yeah, exactly. So, as always, worth listening to this one again. All right. Well, yeah, lots to think about, and you know, got to go buy some buckets now and some bottles and stuff.
I got some toes to suck.
To get sucked. That's, you know, got to make the money and the check-in.
Oh,
hotel.
that's a mistake I made. I thought I was meant to do the sucking.
gotta check into a hotel. Leave my feet hanging off the end of the bed. Leave the door slightly
open.
ajar.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good times. So I guess what we'll do is, man, we'll leave it till next week. And hopefully the stories will be less disturbing. And hopefully the Gimp will be left alone this week. Who knows? All right. Well, cool. Have a good one,
Best
man.
wishes to the Somerset Gimp. And yeah.
Yeah. Our show mascot at this point, nearly. But